So a taxable income from business or profession can be calculated in the following manner. Profit as per the profit and loss account or statement of profit and loss. This is your starting profit. Expenses which are not allowed as a deduction as per the Income Tax Act 1961 but debited to the profit and loss account. Let us say this is your profit and loss account. Now you have written certain expenditure and these expenses is not to be written. Now if you have written on the debit side, by that amount your amount of profit is reduced, but actually this is wrong as per the income tax. So now what you have to do, you have to add this expense into your net profit. So that is why it is written here. Now next one, income which are taxable under the head profits and gains from business or profession but not credited to profit and loss account. So now here what you have to do, you have to add certain incomes which is actually not recorded on the credit side of the profit and loss account. So this is a credit side. In that income is not recorded. And if it is not recorded, what you have to do, you have to add those incomes, and by recording it on the credit side, what you are doing, you are increasing the profit. Income which are not taxable under the head profits and gains from business or profession but credited to profit and loss account. There are certain incomes which is not to be written on the credit side of the profit and loss account, but then also it is written. So what you have to do, you have to deduct it. Last one, expenses which are allowed as a deduction as per the Income Tax Act 1961 but not debited to the profit and loss account. Now in this case there are certain expenses which is actually need to be recorded but it is not recorded. So in that case you have to record on the debit side of the profit and loss account, and by that amount your profit gets reduced. By the doing these four things, you will get a taxable business income as per Income Tax Act. So section 28 is nothing but it is a basis of charge. It will give you idea which type of different incomes that we have to record as a business income. Now section 30 to 37, which expenses are allowed as a deduction while computing business income. There are certain expenses which are actually not allowed as a deduction under section 40 to 43b. So those expenses which is not allowed as a deduction, we will learn those expenses also in a nutshell manner, in a quick manner. Which incomes are not taxable? Any income which are exempted income or taxable in any other head of the income are not taxable under the head profits and gains of business or profession. Obviously if it is taxable under different head, it is not taxable under the head PGBP. If income is exempted under section 10, then also it is not taxable here. So no further deduction discussion required for those things. Basis of charge, section 28, profit and gains of any business or profession carried on at any time during the previous year. Capital receipt not taxable, capital loss not deductible. So if any profits or gain arises during the previous year, then it is considered as your income. Now next one, compensation for loss of office, termination or modification of contract relating to agency in India, and termination or modification of terms and condition of any contract relating to his business, like compensation for loss of office or termination of or modification of contract relating to an agency in India. Let us say there is one region, and in this region Mr. X and Mr. Y, these two person has given agency, like one Patanjali. Let us say Patanjali has given agency to X and Y for this particular area. Now this is a contract. This agency is given for 5 years. Now in these 5 years, again after 1 year, now what Patanjali is doing is giving this part is given to X, that remains same, but the part of which is given to Y is shared between Y and Z. So they had also given the agency to Z. Now that means what? There is a breach of contract. There is a change in terms and condition, because what decided at the time of contract, this particular area will is covered by only y, and this particular area will be covered only by x. But now here what is happening, here this particular area is shared by y and z, so obviously y will suffer from certain kind of loss. So now Patanjali has to pay certain income or compensation to y, because there is a loss due to change in terms and condition. So that is why this compensation received by y is taxable under PGBP, because it is not directly normal type of receipt, but this type of receipt is also taxable under the head PGBP. It is decided by Patanjali that x and y both will receive 8% of commission on selling, because they are sole selling agent of Patanjali product. Now there is a change in condition, terms and condition. Now they have decided we will provide you only 6% of commission. That means what? There is a loss due to change in terms and condition, because now they are going to receive only 6% of commission. So now in that case also Patanjali has to provide some amount of compensation to both the person x as well as y. So this compensation provided by Patanjali to x and y is chargeable under the head PGBP. So that is why this is a second point explanation. So this type of income is also taxable under the head PGBP. Now third point, export incentive. Sale of import entitlement, duty drawback, transfer of duty entitlement passbook scheme, NDFRC. That means these points are very detailed. That means if you are doing some export, then government will provide you different kind of export incentives, and those incentives are taxable under the head income PGBP. Now, if export is done by Mr. X, now in that case, what incentive will be given? So if you have done export of 1 crore, that means now you are eligible to entitle of, you will get import license, import license of 30 lakh. Now that means what? Directly you can import from outside India a product of rupees 30 lakh. This is only license. This is not considered as your income. But now Mr. X is not in need of this import license, because he is not required, because he whatever he purchased from uh, India only. Let us say he sold this import license to Mr. Z, and this import license of 30 lakh is sold to Mr. Z at rupees 1 lakh. Now what is the income of Mr. X? Here income of Mr. X is 1 lakh and not 30 lakh. Now next one, non-compete fees, even if they are capital receipt for not carrying out any activity in relation to any business or profession, not to share any know-how, patent, copyright, trademark. If you do the business or profession, then only you will receive the income. But that is not the case. Sometimes you will also receive the income for not doing anything, not sharing anything, not sharing know-how, patent, copyright, trademark, etc. So for those things also you are going to receive.
अब देखो जैसे ये एक बिल्डिंग है और ये बिल्डिंग को अंदर 100 फ्लैट है। मान लो कैसा 100 फ्लैट है और मैंने ये फ्लैट को एक इंटीरियर डिजाइनर के पास, जैसे मिस्टर जेड के पास, उसको ये फ्लैट को डिजाइन करवाया और उसके लिए मैंने मिस्टर एक्स ने उसको मिस्टर जेड को 50 लाख पे किया। नाउ ये ये फ्लैट अच्छी तरह से डिजाइन हुआ है। अब मेरी ऐसी इच्छा है कि मिस्टर जेड ये फ्लैट किसी और के लिए सेम डिजाइन नहीं करे, क्योंकि ये बहुत अच्छा है। लोग आते हैं, फ्लैट को देखते हैं और उनको बहुत अच्छा लगता है। सेम टू सेम डिजाइन मिस्टर जेड किसी और फ्लैट में कम से कम यही बिल्डिंग में तो ना करे। तो उसके लिए मैं उसको एक्स्ट्रा 20 लाख पे करता हूँ फॉर नॉट परफॉर्मिंग द सेम वर्क फॉर द एनी अदर फ्लैट इन द सेम बिल्डिंग। तो ये एक एक्स्ट्रा अमाउंट दिया मैंने फॉर नॉट डूइंग एनीथिंग। तो ये मिस्टर जेड का इनकम हो गया। 50 लाख तो उसका पीजीबीपी का इनकम है ही, बट ये 20 लाख जो उसको कुछ नहीं करने का मिला, वो भी उसका इनकम माना जाता है। तो यहाँ पे ये बात बोली गई है कि अगर आप, कई बार क्या होता है कि आपको कुछ वर्क करने के लिए, यहाँ पे मिस्टर जेड ने बिजनेस किया 50 लाख का, वर्क डिजाइन करके दिया घर, उसके लिए उसको 50 लाख मिले, तो 50 लाख मिले तो वो उसका इनकम फ्रॉम पीजीबीपी तो कहलाता ही, बट उसको एक्स्ट्रा 20 लाख मिला फॉर नॉट डूइंग द सेम वर्क फॉर एनी अदर फ्लैट इन द सेम बिल्डिंग, उसके लिए 20 लाख मिला। तो क्या उसका ये 20 लाख भी पीजीबीपी का इनकम है? तो यस, वो भी उसका पीजीबीपी का इनकम माना जाएगा।
Like Mr. X is a dealer in AC. Now is what he is doing. AC is a stock in trade. Now one of the AC is kept by him in his office. Now this AC is now capital asset for him. Now fair market value and cost. What is the cost of AC? Cost of AC is 1 lakh. But fair market value of the same AC is 1 lakh 20,000. So now in this case, what is the, because now they have converted stock in trade into capital asset. So this is also income under the head PGBP. Why? Because simple, when you have purchased the asset, you have write down into the opening stock at rupees 1 lakh. But if you do not sell it, it will not be reflected in your closing stock. So that means by that amount your profit will go high. So what you have to do? So because opening stock is there and closing stock is not there, so that means you will get a deduction. You are claiming the expenses, but not, you are not showing the income, because if it is sold at a fair market value, you will get 1,20,000, but now you are not selling it, and now it is not there in your closing stock also. So what value you have to show in PGBP? 1 lakh, 1,20,000 or only profit? So answer is you have to show the fair market value. Here it is clearly written, you have to consider the fair market value of inventory on the date of its conversion into capital asset would be taxable as a business income. So what is your business income in this case? Conversion 1,20,000 is your business income. Then benefit arising from business or profession means due to your business or profession, if any benefit or gift is received, that is also taxable under the head PGBP. Next one, remuneration received by partner is taxable in the hands to the extent it is deductible in the hands of a firm. Now remuneration received by partner, here word is remuneration. Remuneration means any kind, remuneration, bonus, commission received by partner is not taxable as a salary. Means what? Here if you are writing remuneration to the partner on the debit side of the profit and loss account, whole amount is not deductible. Certain extent, let us say remuneration they have returned of a partner 1 lakh. By this amount, their profit is going to reduce. Now, this 1 lakh, can they write down? So then there is a rule for it. 40B specify the rule. How much amount you can write down in case of remuneration, how much bonus you can pay to the partners. Only to that extent you can write down on the debit side of the profit and loss account. Let us say remuneration according to 40B, you can pay is 40,000, but you have returned 1 lakh. So now in this case, this is wrong. So 60,000 will be treated as your business income because you have returned more expenses or you have shown the more remuneration, which is actually you have to show only 40,000. You can pay only 40,000 as a remuneration to the partner, but you have paid 1 lakh. So that is a wrong. So what is extra amount you have paid? 60,000. This 60,000 will be treated as your business income. Now income of a trade, profession, association from specific activity for its member. This is also a tricky point. Trade association or professional association is performing any activity for all its member, then it is nothing taxable because it is a surplus from the mutual activity. But if any specific activity is performed for its member, then whatever income arises, then it is taxable under the head PGBP. Now maturity amount of Keyman insurance policy plus bonus taxable in the hands of employer if received by him. There are three cases here. If key man insurance policy is received by a key person, then it is taxable under the head salary. If it is received by the employer, then it is taxable under the head PGBP. If it is received after the date of the key man insurance policy to its family member, then it is taxable under the head income from other source. Then some received or receivable on the demolition, destruction or transfer of capital asset. Whole cost of the asset was allowed as a deduction under section 35 AD. Means if you have claimed the deduction for the same, if those capital asset is treated as an expense under section 35 AD, then at the time of transfer or destruction or demolition, whatever amount you have received, it is taxable under the head PGBP. Now, following incomes are also taxed under the head PGBP. Like deemed income is also taxable. Income earned after the discontinuation of business is also taxable.